Welcome to short highlights of the 20th edition of the men's Strade Bianche. Remarkably, the race that so many people call to be one of the monuments is 20 editions old this year. It's not quite as hard an edition as last year's massive event, but it brings back 4 former champions to the start line. Tadej Pogačar, the 3-time champion, Tom Pidcock, Wout van Aert and Julian Alaphilippe. And there was Tadej Pogačar in his world champion skin suit, of course, at the start of the 202-kilometre edition of the race. 4,109 metres of elevation across its full distance, of course. Slightly blustery and cool conditions at the start, as we'd had for the earlier women's race, of course. An early breakaway of 9 riders formed pretty early on, including Thibaut Del Grosso, Martin Marcialucci, Jack Haig, Patrick Conrad, Samuele Zoccorato, and a few others as well who were happy to try their hands early on. What we were waiting for, though, was to see how UAE Team Emirates and Tadej Pogačar would take things on. Well, this was how it was. It was the Monte Saint-Marie again, with 79.3 kilometres, as you can see, and Tadej Pogačar, the 3-time champion, using that as his opportunity to open up the race, as he's done on previous editions. A little hairy moment there for former winner Tom Pidcock, as you could see. Isaac Del Toro in his Mexican national champion skin suit, trying to stay in contact with Tadej Pogačar. Paul Sexas, so much spoken of him, the Decathlon CMS CGM man, after already winning 2 races this year, the 19-year-old. Ben Healy would join the group with Sexas and other favourites in it, but they were chasing one man out front. Tadej Pogačar had disappeared with 78 kilometres to go on the sector named after him, in actual fact, the Monte Saint-Marie, and he continued to extend that lead. The 2 chasing groups behind would come back together. Lots of fans excited to see Wout van Aert coming back in there too, winner from back in 2020. And we got these wonderful, iconic Tuscan shots of Tadej Pogačar ripping across, and the crowd were loving it too. A very familiar sight, of course. 1:53 his gap. Those who would continue chasing included Tom Pidcock, not giving up, and Isaac Del Toro trying to follow Paul Sexas too. Ben Healy had done an awful lot, the former Irish champion. He was one of those struggling at the back. This was the formation of that second group, with Del Toro and Sexas, Tom Pidcock, Romain Grégoire in there too. But Tadej Pogačar was in a very familiar time trial by this stage. Tufts of blonde hair sticking out the back of his helmet. In amongst the chasing, with 17 kilometres to go, Paul Sexas and Isaac Del Toro had separated themselves from the group, and not for the first time either. This is the second of those loops that included the Colle Pinzuto and Le Tolfe, the 2 defining climbs of the closing stages, which are taken on twice, as they were in the women's race too, for Strade Bianche. Pogačar always holding somewhere between 1:15 and 1 minute and 30 seconds of lead over the chasers. Sexas was trying to drop Isaac Del Toro. Isaac Del Toro understandably refusing to work with Sexas, having his teammate Tadej Pogačar up the road, and as a result of that, this group was just closing in. Brilliant ride being done by Matteo Jorgensen in there too, and Gianni Vermeers, former world gravel champion, of course, as well. They were caught, and Del Toro wanted to see if he could get himself clear of that group, to see if they could secure a UAE Team Emirates 1-2. Pogačar looking across at the camera, possibly sensing he might have bitten off more than he can chew. I think the problem is, we all know he can chew this very nicely, and he went under the arch with 1 kilometre to go, as you can see, with a lead of 1:16 over Del Toro and Sexas, and nearly 2 minutes over the Christian Grégoire and Pidcock group. That was him going under the arch. The crowd already knew what they were expecting to see, and Tadej Pogačar ripping up the Via Santa Caterina with a smile to the camera on the bend, as we've seen before. What a noise, what a place to be on a Saturday, this Saturday. And this was the point at which he definitely knew he had it.
He sits up, hands off the bars, waiting to acclaim the fans here. The Piazza del Campo belongs to him. Tadej Pogačar, A man who defines an era. Absolutely remarkable. He takes a bow.
Yes, and a little stoppy just across the line there to celebrate. I wonder what he'd do differently this time. It is, of course, now his 5th victory. That separates him from Fabian Cancellara, who was the only other man to have won 3. No one's ever won them back-to-back, but now Tadej Pogačar has won them back to back to back. And it gave us the youngest ever podium in the history of the race, with 19-year-old Paul Sexas right there and Isaac Del Toro just behind him. What an addition for the 20th edition of Strade Bianche.